provided by CSC to you for all your CSC related products. So I'm going to use this and click on sign in. Once I sign in, there is a dashboard kind of a screen where you will see the system will update in a few seconds. After doing this refresh configurations, here is a search option here. If you see, there is a search option. And here, if you click on the search button, you type mutual or maybe mutual fund, you get this mutual fund and banking option as the search result. So if you click on mutual fund, it will take you to one website, one portal, web portal where CSC has specifically created this respective to mutual funds. So if you just want to work on mutual funds, you can simply work on this website. You can look at connect with them regarding mutual fund queries. And there is one particular option here which says buy mutual fund, right? I'm circling this around. This is the most important option when it comes to executing transactions for mutual funds. Let me specify that our transaction journey, maybe how you can create clients is MF VLE one, or if you have a particular code for yourself as a VLE, you can probably say you can take the first name. So VLE, if I'm the VLE, so what I can do is VLE nil one can be my first client. Okay, so this way you can format your own client code and you can keep a series on your own. So my next client, if this client is getting created as VLE nil one, then I'll create the next one as VLE nil two. So this way you can mention your own codes. Give you an information that client code is your choice. You can keep a client code of your own format. But what you need to note is client code cannot exceed 10 characters. So here what I'll do is I'll create one code to help you with this journey. Maybe test CSC1 is something I'll create. So system has allowed me to create this client code as test CSC1 because this has not been created by anyone else under the CSC infrastructure. Then comes tax status. Then you select the tax status of the client. So majorly you will be onboarding individual clients, or maybe you will be onboarding their minors like their kids who are not yet adults. So you might use on behalf of minor sometimes, but majorly I think you'll be using individuals. So I'll just give you this journey. I'll show you this demo through the individual onboarding. After selecting tax status, you will select the holding nature. As an individual investor, if your client wants to invest in single hold of investment, so I'll show you with the single holding nature as which is majorly used for mutual fund investments. You mentioned the gender of the investor, male, female, whatever is in KYC check. Let me show you how it will help. So if I'm entering my PAN number here, as in just to show you, so if I'm entering this client's PAN number and I'm clicking on KYC check, you will see that the NSE system will provide you what is the name of this PAN holder on KYC records. So it is important in terms of regulations that KYC name has to match with investment name. So it's important that you mention the name of the client while creating their code exactly as it is given on KRA records, that is KYC records. So if KYC records are telling me that this PAN holder's name is Niladri Chatterjee, then you can copy paste this name from here and mention it on the primary holder name field. So you can mention all of the name under first name, or you can segregate this by mentioning the first name here and the last name here. The test website, test client. Then you select the occupation of the investor, whether it's business, services, professional, whatever is the occupation, agriculture. You select and click on next. Once you click on next, system just select here non-demat. We have kept this platform common to stockbrokers also, so that's why they have this option demat here. Otherwise, for you as a VLE from CSC, your client type will be non-demat here. Then you click on next. Then you enter the bank details of the client. So whatever are the bank details you enter here. MICR is not mandatory, so you can ignore the MICR field. You don't have to mention MICR. And in case in case the client has more than one bank account and they want to add all the bank accounts that they have on the NSE UCC. So here you can mention all the banks that the client wants to add here, so that in future they can decide later which bank they want to use for making payments in mutual fund investment. One bank account, and no need to enter the check name here. No need to do any changes on dividend pay mode. Dividend pay mode is for mutual fund AMCs. So whenever they need to pay any dividend to the client, they can direct credit the dividends to the client's bank account. So dividend pay mode can be left as it is. After doing this, you click on next. On next, you will enter the address details of the client. You enter the city. So if you're belonging to New Delhi, just mention New Delhi. Mention the pin code, then state. Country is already there. Communication mode, you can keep it as electronic always. So again, make a note, whatever information you see this as, and then mention whatever is the client's email ID. Declare the relationship of this email with the investor. So as this email ID belongs to me, I'll mention self here. This is my mobile number, which I'll tag as self again. Click on next. Then comes nominee opting. So for nominee opted yes, after doing nominee opted yes, you will select nominee SOA. That means statement. Then they will select no. So to show the name on folio statement, show the name of the nominee on folio statement, you select yes. To not show the name of the nominee on the folio statement, click no. Okay, so as it is. The name of the nominee as actual, whatever is the name. Select the relationship. So in case it's spouse, so type in spouse and select spouse. In case you have a multiple nominee, you want to add 2 or 3 nominee of the client, then you can allocate a percentage to each of them. And if there is only one nominee, then you can mention 100 in the nominee percentage. Under the nominee ID type, you will select a document name for which you will be mentioning the details with respect to the nominee. So here the document ID type that, so you can select PAN and mention the PAN number here. Then the nominee date of birth. So nominee date of birth you can mention. If it was a minor, system would automatically say it's minor, and you will then need to update the nominee culture name. Then you mention the email ID, the mobile number. As the nominee is major, you can mention their own email ID and mobile numbers. I'm just mentioning my here just to give you just to enter the values. And for address, if the address is same as per the holder, the primary holder, then you can select address same as first holder. In case it's not, then you can mention the different address on this on these nominee fields. And all these asterisk mark fields, so you can see red asterisks. These are all mandatory fields, so you need to mention all of them. Second nominee I'm not filling, third nominee I'm not filling. I'll click on next. After clicking next, the KYC detail will show as KRA compliant because we have already checked and we know that this client's KYC is KRA compliant. So you can keep this as it is. Click on next. After and save. Once you save, the client details have been saved, but we have to complete the FATCA declaration, for which there is a link here at the top which says add FATCA detail. So if I click on this add FATCA detail, it has given if it's residential, then mention residential, their place of birth. So the client I'm trying to add is from New Delhi. Select as it is, not politically exposed person. Nothing more. Occupation type has been picked from the client creation page. Nothing else here. Self-declaration flag as yes. You can mention the self-declaration as yes. And nothing more. Then click on save. Once you save, the FATCA registration will be done successfully. What you can do is you can go to utilities. On utilities, you will find one option called get non-demat auth link. So this get non-demat auth link will be important for you when it comes to taking authentication, doing authentication on behalf of the client, taking OTP from them. So if I go to utilities, get non-demat auth link, if I click on product type, I'll see CL_ACT. This stands for client activation. So to do client activation, we'll click on CL_ACT. We will mention the name of the client. So as you see, I have created this client with name test client. It says test CSC1. I'll click here. I'll click on get link. If I click on get link, the system will give me a link here. Okay. So as a VLE, I can click on this link. I click on this link. I open this form. I can simply turn my desktop or my screen to show it to the client. Client can read it if they want to check if all the details are correct. If they are okay to proceed and accept it, you will have this option called I agree here on the left side. So under I agree, you will click on send OTP. Once you generate OTP, you will ask the client, sir, you would have received an OTP. Please share that OTP. It will be the same sent on your mobile and your email as well. So the OTP will be same, sent to any of the options. They can provide this OTP to you and you can click on authorize. After doing this, the client